Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kastuba. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Come on! Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator of the Bhakti Center, New York, Kastuba Das. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to Super Soul Farm. It's our Wisdom of the Sages weekend, and that's why Kastuba is sitting right next to me, holding pinkies with me under the desk. He is very hidden. You can't see, but that's what we're doing, rubbing them back and forth, looking at each other lovingly occasionally. We are here to deliver the Srimad Bhagavatam this morning, and we're with a few of the people came early. We got Linda, Stephanie Berman, Bhakti Uriel, Henry. Who else? Bunky's here. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, getting ready. Everybody's about to cruise in this evening. Kastuba spent the night in the Airstream last night. How was that?
Peaceful, quiet.
It is peaceful. It's different than sleeping in New York City.
No, it's quiet in my apartment too, but it was...
Oh, because your apartment faces
peaceful.
The back of the building. If you're facing the front, it's a little louder.
Yeah, but peaceful compared to the gym.
Oh, yeah, he was staying in the
It's
gym.
a central gathering area.
Yeah. Okay. So we got a new assistant, Bhakti Uriel's with me for a couple weeks.
Oh, nice.
Why don't we bring him up? Come here, Bhakti Uriel. Let's get over here. Bhakti Uriel. What kind of name is Uriel? We're trying to figure that out.
Spanish and Hebrew.
Okay, so you got to speak right into the mic here. Give him a mic. Come down here low.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. It's an honor to be here.
Bhakti Uriel, what's
try to tone down the Hare Krishna thing?
Okay, what's your he lived in the LA temple for 2 months in the Brahmacharya ashram. It wasn't a perfect fit. So we came out to the Wisdom of the Sages retreat, and he's going to stay and serve around here for a couple weeks. What's your story? Where are you from?
I'm from South Texas at the bottom, Brownsville. And recently I'm on a kind of Krishna's mercy ride, because the moment I left Brownsville 8 months ago to do a little film gig in Fort Worth.
You're a filmmaker, right?
I am. I'm a filmmaker. And it was due for me to get in a car crash this year, actually, in my chart. And so I was like really paranoid and trying my best not to get in one.
Did you get in one?
And I was stuck in bumper to bumper traffic, actually, listening to Surrender by Johnny Harrison and Willow.
Okay.
While it happened, I try my best to escape it. But
wait, what? You're in bumper to bumper traffic and someone slammed into you from behind or something?
Yes. Actually, I thought he was a really kind soul because he was letting everyone merge in. He was way behind everyone, and I thought he was just super nice. But then I look in my rearview mirror and I see that he starts speeding 35 miles per hour right at me. And
while you were parked.
Yeah, nowhere else to go.
Oh my God.
But it was literally when I was listening to Surrender by John V. Harrison.
Okay.
And,
were you hurt?
I wasn't actually. My car got totaled.
Wow.
And I was kind of stranded out there for a little while.
Were you already into Bhakti at this point?
I was. This was
Okay. Well, you could just be listening to her, not understanding this is the path to God. Okay. So, all right. So, what does that got to do with anything?
That was 3 months ago.
Okay.
And I kind of was stranded out there, and thanks to the great souls at Krishna House Dallas, they kind of sheltered me for a month.
Nice.
And then after that, I just kind of ping ponged right towards LA. And then I've been in the LA ashram, such lovely souls there. And then now I'm ping ponged the other side of the coast. And I'm so grateful. I've been a fan of the show for over a year.
Oh, really? How'd you get into the show?
The Joe Rogan podcast, actually.
Oh, Joe Rogan.
Yes, yes. And I was listening vicariously, days on end. I've racked up over 10,000 minutes, and
We should give out some type of badges, I think. Or an arm patch or something like that. 10,000. 10K. Very cool.
and it's just beyond a blessing to be here, and I'm so grateful.
We
Thank
like
you.
you. We like having you here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Bo, talk to Uriel.
Talk to Uriel.
You will meet him if you're at the Wisdom of the Sages retreat.
Talk to Uriel. You can tell he's in that early Krishna consciousness, full-on bliss state, right?
Yeah.
Wait till all the truth starts to
Okay.
set in, kid.
All right. The 10-year-old from Lebanon is chastising me on the message board. Raghu started growing some hair on his head. Raghu should shave up.
Oh, that's awesome.
She's like my Bhakta leader, this 10-year-old from Lebanon. She noticed I'm growing hair on my head. You know, my little kid, Karun, my 10-year-old's always like, you should just grow out your hair. And I was like, it's not going to work. He's like, well, give it a try. So I'm like trying it a little bit, but I don't think it's going to work.
You got one 10-year-old over here telling you one thing. You got another 10-year-old over
I
here telling you
know.
another thing. All right, let's keep this moving, Raghunath. Should we bring Mara over here?
Yeah, Mara, what are our announcements? I want to announce that me and Kostub are going, and Mara are going to India for autumn. We're going to a bunch of wonderful holy places that we love. If you're interested in traveling to sacred India, not as a backpacker, not as a tourist, but to experience India like a pilgrim, it's a very nice trip. It's a wonderful trip. It's a game-changing trip. Go to my website, raghunath.yoga, and it gets all the information.
It's not on wisdomsages.com?
I don't do that website.
Not yet.
Not yet.
All right, we have Back to Your Recovery group meetings at 12:30 and 1 today, Eastern Time, and Cult of Cain's Asana class, Feel Good Friday with Josh Kane, 10:30 a.m. for our Patreon members.
All right.
Thank you, Mara.
Thank you.
We got a nugget today. I don't think you've even looked at it yet, Raghunath.
Nope. I was looking at you lovingly while you were preparing it.
Okay.
Does that count?
Well, we're about to find out if you can make it through this. I've tried to make this easy for you because this is a poem. Okay, and it's by Yeats.
Yeats.
Yeah, and it's and I laid it out. It's a hard poem to read, I think, but I kind of laid it out here, so I think it's going to make it easier for you. Are you ready? You can.
The sailing to Byzantium.
Yeah, sailing to Byzantium, maybe is it Byzantium?
I think it's Byzantium.
Okay. So if you read it just like the way it's laid out here, like that, it's going to make it easier because otherwise it's a little tricky one. You ready? You can do this in a bit of a dramatic.
That is no country for old men. The young in one another's arms. Birds in the trees, those dying generations at their song.
Mhm.
The salmon falls, the mackerel crowded seas. Flesh or fowl. Commend all summer long. Whatever is begotten, born, dies. Whatever is begotten, born, and dies. Caught in that sensual music, all neglect. Monuments of unageing intellect. Is that it? Or you want me to read the whole?
No, I was thinking just that. but
Okay, that's a good one.
Shall we go through that? Especially those
Yeah.
last two lines are powerful, right?
That is no country for old men, the
Like-
young in one another's arms.
Well, let's take it one line at a time, right? That is no country for old men. So it's like this world isn't a good place for the elderly, right? Once you start, it might be when you're young and everything. It might be like, oh, it's a great world. And as you start to get older, at least from if you're operating on that, seeing the point of life is sense gratification, or trying to find happiness through externals. As you get older,
that
just
window
gets tougher,
closes.
yeah.
That window closes. It gets tougher to enjoy our sensual experiences as our senses become weaker.
but then the young in one another's arms, they're not feeling it. They're not. They're caught up. Birds are in the trees, right? They're doing their thing. But those dying generations at their song.
What does that mean?
It means that that they're unaware of their own mortality, right?
Mm.
They're singing, the birds are singing away, the young, they're in each other's arms, they're embracing one another, and enjoying the pleasures of this world, unaware of the undeniable truth that they're going to age, they're going to be like the old man soon.
Good
We
morning,
yeah.
everybody.
Well, let's stay with it. So then you have the salmon falls, the mackerel crowded seas. It's a world crowded with
Fish, flesh, or fowl.
fish, flesh, or fowl. It's so many different kind of living entities. Um, and if we look at them and we look at their lives, then we can seek they commend all summer long. Even though they're enjoying, we can see that something's being said, that whatever is begotten, born, and die, everything that's born is going to die. Right? We just have to look. We just have to see it. It's everywhere. But then this is the point. I think this last line is the real, caught in that sensual music, all neglect, monuments of unaging intellect. He's sailing to, what is it, Byzantium, right? He's going to where the sages, where these great philosophers,
Mm.
where they're from. He wants to contemplate these monuments of unaging intellect. We're all aging. This knowledge never ages, right? This knowledge stays steady. It's what we're meant to kind of reach out. It's the solution,
Mm.
right? Otherwise, we're caught in the sensual music and we're neglecting the real life.
Wisdom of the Sages, not a feel-good podcast.
But it is, Raghunath. You see, but it is. Because as we like to say sometimes, right, when we look at this world, yeah, you might hear this and say, oh, God, just depressing
So
stuff.
depressing.
But wise people have been saying this
full,
stuff.
Stuba. Come on.
But wise people have been saying this stuff forever.
That's true.
And because particularly when it comes to the bhakti, like from the jnana yoga path, they'd be like, yes, 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 and stick with. But we really have a very positive, colorful alternative, right? So we can look at this world with two eyes. With one pessimistic eye,
Mm.
trying to find happiness through externals in this temporary world, as never changing souls trying to find satisfaction through the ever changing world will not be successful. That's the pessimistic eye. But
Well,
then
listen
yeah.
here how I flip it. This is how I flip it. I
But
just say,
if I could continue this point, because
Okay.
I'm almost done with it. But then there's also an optimistic eye, right? So we're looking at it with both, and we can talk about the optimistic eye. But if we don't have that pessimistic eye, we get a very unbalanced view, and we suffer because of it. Okay, let's hear your thoughts.
I just go right into the flipped version, and I say, yeah, material world, we're here to enjoy.
Okay.
But there's a different type of enjoyment. We are born to enjoy in
Oh.
this material world because the soul is by nature enjoyable. We want to enjoy. We are fearless anyway. But how do you do it? We have the recipe. Isn't that a nice way to put it? It's just like all positive. Who can argue with that? Oh, see, no, you're enjoying the wrong way. There's actually a way to enjoy. Your way is going to cheat you out of enjoyment.
But here's the problem with that, Raghunath, is that if we don't hear to some degree, if we don't get a little bit of that bitter pill, if we don't hear about the problems of material existence, we're likely to keep reaching out to it. We're likely to,
Well, I get it. That's got to come because that
Yeah.
comes in the recipe. That's in the recipe. You say, well, yeah, that is actually wrong enjoyment. That's false enjoyment. What you're thinking about.
Okay, but
So you got to give them. You give them that pinch, but you welcome them in the door by saying, "This is
Okay.
all enjoyable."
all right, that's good.
It is though,
It is,
isn't it?
yeah. What is it? What's that? Oh, I'm forgetting it now. That there's one verse that's saying something sukhayate, right? Something about the universe is all it's all enjoyable.
It's all enjoyable.
From the right perspective, it's all enjoyable.
Life is a beach.
Yeah.
No,
But in
just add that. You're like, yeah, okay. Life is a beach.
it can be.
It is a beach. It's an ocean of milk.
But in any case, I thought that particularly that line at the end about caught in the sensual music, all neglect, monuments of unaging intellect. There's a thread that runs through it all. He's finding it in these Stoic philosophers.
Sure.
we're reaching out. We can find it in so many other wisdom traditions. We're drawing today from the Srimad Bhagavatam, right?
Mhm.
Perhaps the oldest, known, and we're hearing it through the mouth of this little boy, Prahlad. But he's going to be saying he's standing in front of Lord Vishnu. Everything is going great in his life right now, right? It's like
Pretty
Vishnu
good.
came and just wiped out his father, who was like trying to torture him and kill him in so many ways.
It was bad.
He's about to be offered any desire that he has, right? Whatever you want, take it. It's yours.
Imagine that.
All
God came to you personally
Yeah,
for you.
yeah.
Linda, imagine that. God came to you personally. Bunky, God came to you personally. Whatever you want. You're so good. Recognizing all your good qualities. You're so good. You can have whatever you want. We're going to hear what Prahlad says.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll hear that today, but that's definitely coming. But my point is, all the devas, all the universal powerful figures are also there, and he's the one that is getting all the recognition, all the praise. He's being offered whatever he wants. And yet when he speaks, we just heard verses where he's glorifying Lord Vishnu and how he's behind the entire universe and how he can be perceived through meditation, that you can see what others can't see, that I see it, you're everywhere, you're every strata of existence, you're present, your awareness is there, your loving awareness is there. So in that sense everything is good, but he's going to begin to speak that, you know what, I feel for the people that are suffering in this world. He's not just saying, oh my God, everything I wanted I got now. He's saying, I'm feeling for the people that suffer in this world. It's a hard world. This is no country for old men. This is a place where, unless we connect with that, how did he phrase it again, with that those monuments of unchanging intellect, unless we hear the truth and understand the truth, we're destined to suffer in these mortal frames, right? And so he speaks with real compassion. It may sound like a bitter pill what he's saying, but he's saying it out of compassion.
Do you ever pray for material things?
I try not to, not really.
Sometimes I'll like, pray. I offer prayers. I study prayers of pure bhakti, but then sometimes I'll pray for my kids.
Well, in what context?
I'll pray for them like this morning when I woke up. I was praying for my kids. I pray for their deep connection to God.
So that's not praying for a material thing.
And their health and happiness.
That they get a good job.
Health and happiness, good marriage, and not too much pain.
Okay.
And material. Yeah. It goes back and forth. And I just feel, then sometimes I'll be like, well, God knows what I want.
It's a little deeper level of awareness. You hit that.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, my daughter rides a motorcycle. So my please,
Oh, yeah. You
Krishna,
don't want her to
protect her on
suffer.
the motorcycle.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, well, maybe she's meant to.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm supposed to, I don't know. So I just pray, just keep them connected.
That's
the highest thing. There's really nothing. Once you get into bhakti, almost like there's really nothing to pray for anymore. It's just like, you know what I want, Krishna. I just offering my prayers to you.
You can glorify God. So those are.
That's what I mean. I'm just like, there's nothing to pray for. I'm just going to offer prayers to you.
Okay.
And whatever happens, this is.
Well, the prayer, when they pray for something, and we see in the Bhagavatam, generally praying, may I never forget you. May my mind always be absorbed in you, like that. Right?
Well, someone asked me this morning when I woke up. It was a direct message of a friend of mine. And I don't know if this person's into bhakti, but she's definitely into like Sanatan Dharma and, Vedic culture. So she said, I'm getting married. Do you recommend any priests who could marry me to help me counteract bad karmas and whatever the Vedic rituals are?
I'll come to you for all kinds of help.
All kinds of help. I can help you too. You just got to come in a submissive mood.
Well, if I ever ask for it, you can share it all with me.
So she asked, can you help me find a good priest if you have somebody? I said, well, I know a lot of pujaris who do priests, but sometimes they, in bhakti, there's so many times the ritual is second to the bhakti. And there are people that you know, the ritual is obviously second. And then sometimes there's the ritual is primary and the bhakti is secondary.
Yeah.
So all I'm going to tell you is all I can
What?
recommend is someone who's got bhakti at the forefront.
Yeah,
in the
like, no, thank
ritual. Well, it might be no thank you, because if you're really into astrology and want to like balance out some malefic planets to have a happy marriage, we're not into necessarily a happy marriage. We're not praying for happy marriages. We're praying for evolution. And sometimes it takes a little pain to evolve. We're not praying to get rid of my bad karma. We're praying, give me pure devotion. And that could manifest in a lot of ways. It could manifest in a season of good karma and a season of like losing it all. And then maybe getting a little bit back, whatever it is. We're praying for our evolution. May I hold on to the lifeline through all the storms and good weather.
Okay. Maybe you should be the priest for this, right?
You know what?
I know just the guy.
I know just the guy.
Okay. All right, you ready to get into it?
Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is every means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord, Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshu badreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated. And loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, text.
I think it's actually 40. I think we did 39 yesterday. How can we get this thing over there?
I like the way you and I chant together like that. We sound like we should be doing the wedding together.
That was right, but how do you move
I don't
it?
know. I can't see anything.
Okay.
Help us. There we go. Where do you want it? In front of my face?
Let's see. Let's just kind of condense it like that.
I put it in front of your face so I can't see you.
Over here. Move this around a bit.
Shanak Rishi said the synchronization was on point.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think by the second one we started clicking. Because I realized I could chant into the mic when I'm with you. Then I can chant into the mic. When I'm at home.
When I'm with you, I can chant too.
Then it doesn't work so well.
When I'm with you, everything's better.
Okay. Hit it. Text 40.
Text 40. My dear Lord, O infallible one, my position is like that of a person who has many wives. What? All trying to attract him in their own way. For example,
Who do you think the many wives are?
oh, the senses.
One's pulling
senses.
this way, one's pulling that way.
Yeah.
Could be it's not just wives. We're not coming down on wives here, but it's just saying.
Just saying, it's like
Picturing someone that's got demands coming in all different.
yeah, if you're famous and like so many different people are trying to get your attention. My position is like that of a person who has many wives, all trying to attract him in their own way. For example, the tongue is attracted to palatable dishes.
So it's got one demand right there.
That's one demand. The genitals to sex.
That's another demand.
Yep. Sex with an attractive woman.
Okay.
And Bunky, clam up, please. And the sense of touch to contact with soft things. Yeah, the senses like to touch soft things. Furry rabbits. Petting the sheep. The belly, although filled, this is me, still wants to eat more. This is what I do. Mary will make an incredible dinner. It'll be so satisfying that I'll be like, now I want a second dinner. I'll just like scour through the refrigerator for other things. I'll make a little sandwich after that delicious dinner as like a nightcapper. So sick in the head. But this is me, right? The belly, although filled, still wants to eat more. And the ear, not attempting to hear about you, my Lord, is generally attracted to, Prabhupada adds this little translation, cinema songs.
Cinema songs.
Because I don't think there were cinema songs in the year negative thousands.
Why not, Raghunath?
Because there was not a cinema during the time of Prahlad Maharaj.
You know that for a fact.
Yes, I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I can tell you who invented the cinema.
You sure they didn't have it before? They're just catching up.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't know.
In case I'm just playing with you.
The sense of smell is attracted to yet another side. The restless eyes are attracted to scenes of sense gratification. I never looked at it as a sunset as a scene of sense gratification. And the active senses are attracted elsewhere. In this way, I'm certainly embarrassed. You know what I think about when I think of this one? I think of the ears. They're not attracted to hearing about Krishna. They're attracted to hearing about everything else.
Yeah.
Whatever's on your list of the most played YouTube videos, that's what you're attracted to.
Your ears are?
Everybody's ears. What I'm just saying, you know how you go to your history and it says all the videos you've been playing? How many of those are Krishna conscious?
Well, let's check your thing right now and find out.
There we go. I will say that a great soul teacher of mine said, if you ever want to get rid of somebody, meaning not to kill them. I mean, if someone's like talking your ear off, bothering you, you just say, hey, I'm glad you're here. I was about to read the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Let's read together. And if they're attracted to speaking and hearing nonsense or just mundane things, when you say, let's read something transcendental, they'll be like, oh, I got to go. And it gets rid of them.
Is that a good thing? So you're saying that it's natural that our ears get attracted to the external things?
It's unnatural, but it's what we're actually, in the same way people getting addicted to alcohol, we are addicted to hearing about the mundane. And that mundane may be in the rajas and tamas, but it also may be in the form of sattva.
Okay. So yeah. So Prahlad saying
All my plant videos I watch.
Okay. But so Prahlad's saying that, a lot of us might think as long as our desires are getting fulfilled some way, this whole sensual thing is positive. It's like, what a great world where we have senses that can connect with objects and we derive pleasure. This is a good thing. He's saying, no, this is a problem because they're dragging me in directions that promise pleasure, but ultimately deliver pain. I pulled up something. There's an article written by Ravindra Swarup Prabhu. Okay, brilliant philosopher, right?
Genius.
He
wrote an insert for a shelter record. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
He wrote some. I should read it one day. It's very cool.
What was the theme?
Sort of like a very beautiful poetic way of saying you're not the body.
Okay.
But we did a single called "In Defense of Reality," and the insert was written by him.
Nice.
Super cool.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. But why don't you pull that up for a show sometime soon? Right. Maybe it could be a nugget. He wrote a paper called An Essay in Pathology. Oh, it's called Sense Gratification, an Essay in Pathology.
What does pathology mean?
It means like I assume it means like some kind of irrational, problematic, when we become captivated by something like that. Oh,
Mara's got it. Mara's on it.
The study of the essential nature of diseases. Oh, it's a disease, right? And especially of the structural and functional changes produced by them. Something abnormal, a deviation from propriety or from an assumed normal state. Deviation giving rise to social ills.
Okay.
So sense gratification is a deviation giving rise to social ills, or I think personal ills here is the way that he's describing it.
Okay.
He says, so I just took a little part of it. He's kind of showing the mindset of the materialist. Okay. And the way a lot of people argue, like a lot of people, whether it's articulated or not, it may be kind of the assumed default kind of way that we operate. Why then should we heed those traditional religions and moralities, which Yeats is calling monuments of, what do you call it? This timeless wisdom or whatever he said. So why should we then heed those traditional religious immoralities with their negations and restrictions opposed by those decrepit, youth-hating, life-denying patriarchs, their lips curled in disgust? Right? There is such a thing as progress. It has liberated us from the guilt and inhibitions inherited from the past. Let us fully explore and exploit all the potentials of the world. So the illusion grows deeper, right? With that mentality, the illusion grows deeper, lays the very foundation of our modern culture. We've built a culture on this kind of denial of the timeless wisdom that's always been there. We're laying out a path that we think is the path of happiness, but if we but all these wise people, we in our minds, and granted there are life denying, youth hating, decrepit patriarchs out there,
Yes.
but there's also many traditions of just insightful people that scratched just a little bit beneath the veneer,
Of material
of material
happiness.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not like they're all bitter at you. Oh, you get to enjoy and we don't, and they're sour grapes. They're actually insightful.
yes. And Prahlad, he was a happy little boy, even though he was under so many
Sometimes people are very
oppressive,
excitable at young ages.
and he was under such an oppressive circumstance, but he was happy.
Yeah.
He was dancing around with his friends, and no matter what negative energy was being thrown at him, he was joyful. He wasn't some old lip curling, life denying patriarch. He was like a sweet boy, sweet little boy.
Sure.
But he had insight. So he's saying all this, the power of the senses, which you start to wake up in your youth and say, "Oh, this is great. There's all kinds of enjoyment out here." He's saying the power of that is just like it's like I'm being pulled in all these directions by someone that has their own agenda. And my own agenda, it's making me incapable of carrying out what's in my own best interest.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Your senses have an agenda for you.
They want their own gratification. They're not too concerned about you.
On a side squirrel, people can Google search for "How I Was Saved from Being Saved"
Okay.
by Ravindra Swarup Prabhu. Ravindra.
That's
It's a
a good
great essay.
Nice.
We just read that, Mira, right? How I Was Saved from Being Saved.
Okay.
Okay.
What you got next here?
41. My dear Lord, you are always transcendentally situated on the other side of the river of death. We're not talking about a creek. We're talking about a big river, a big Hudson River.
It's hard to cross. We're on the death side. Us.
No, I thought we were on the life side.
No, we're on the death side.
We're not alive right now.
And it's a hard swim to get over to that other side.
But because of the reactions of your own activities, we are suffering on this side.
Of our own activities.
Okay. Indeed. Okay, I get it. The ocean.
Why don't you start again?
My dear Lord, you are always transcendentally situated on the other side of the river of death. Okay, we're in the river of death.
We have to cross that river to get
to the river of life.
No, the river, the land.
The land of life. It's a slower river.
You're
much more enjoyable.
He's saying you're on the other side. You're on
Okay.
the other. So we're on one side.
Okay.
He's on the other side.
Indeed, we have fallen into this river and are repeatedly suffering the pains of birth and death and eating horrible things.
Look around.
Yeah, we eat horrible things, don't we?
Nature is Metal.
Not me.
Instagram page. Just all kind of horrible food. Right? Animals eating other animal. Crocodiles. They got some kind of beast in their mouth and they're chewing on it.
Oh yeah. You know what I've been watching a lot lately of is those what do you call those Komodo dragons?
Oh, those things.
Just eat, chomp. Meat-eating lizards, hate them.
We see hogs, horrible diet. We see even dogs. My God, the stuff they eat. It's like it can be.
You got to let that go, though. Just love them anyway.
Nobody's saying not to love them, but it's saying we all pass through all these bodies, and we're feeding ourselves.
Feeding ourselves with horrible things.
Okay.
Now kindly look upon us, not only upon me, but also upon all others who are suffering. And by your causeless mercy and compassion, deliver us and maintain us.
Okay, so now we begin to, Prahlad is known for his compassion. Right, that's like one of the features, one of his major features. He was being so oppressed, but he didn't even have it in his own mind, like his own
Help me. It
circumstance.
wasn't
Yeah,
like help me.
yeah, it was like help everyone. Like
Help everyone. Everyone's suffering.
Yeah, I'm fine.
You just threw me into a pit of snakes, but help everyone else.
Yeah. You know who he was in Chaitanya Lila?
Yeah, he was Haridas Thakur.
Was he Haridas? I think Haridas and also Vasudev Datta, right?
Oh, maybe a little bit of both.
And Vasudev Datta he was just like, let me take on the bad karma of every living being, right? Let me suffer.
And then there's a lot of people that was a very big prayer.
This
Let me
kidding
take on the bad karma of everyone.
Let me suffer
Do you know what people have done?
unlimitedly.
Vasudev Dutt, have you been living in like a bubble where people don't do anything bad?
He was just on another level of consciousness completely.
You have to be.
Yeah.
Because people don't some Al Capone's karma, Mussolini's karma. Come on.
I mean, so many people. Whole pot.
Pol Pot's karma.
All right.
Come on.
Let's hear what he has to say. These are some famous verses coming up too.
Epstein's Island's karma.
Yeah. Okay. You're getting darker.
Okay. Oh, my Lord, oh, Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original spiritual master of the entire world. What is the difficulty for you who manage the affairs of the universe in delivering the fallen souls engaged in your devotional service?
God, it's easy for you.
It's easy. You are the friend of all suffering humanity. And for great personalities, it is necessary to show mercy to the foolish. Therefore, I think that you will show your causeless mercy to persons like us who engage in your service.
Come on.
Oh, best of the great personalities, I am not at all afraid of material existence. This is a big one. For wherever I stay, I am fully absorbed in the thoughts of your glories and activities. My concern is only for the fools and rascals who are making elaborate plans for material happiness. Right? Isn't that what we do? We make an elaborate plan for material happiness and maintaining their families, societies, and countries. I am simply concerned with love for them.
So
It seems responsible though. Maintaining, making a plan for happiness for your family. Is that so bad, Kostuba?
No, that's not a problem.
I'm taking my kids to Italy with me on this little retreat we're doing. Is that so bad?
Well, what's your purpose in bringing them there?
To bond with them, to connect with them, to have a little Krishna conscious experience in a beautiful place.
The point is, there's absolutely nothing.
Find some vegan gelato out there.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with bonding with the kids. That's fine. But if that's all that a parent can offer them, then it's really just people trying to enjoy this world through each other, and ultimately it's a recipe for suffering.
Sure.
Whereas if you can help one another transcend, realize, experience, and actually taste a spiritual reality that's beyond material enjoyment, that if as a group you can all help each other understand that the deeper happiness is not found through external things, right? There's a happiness that we all have, our nature within us all that's in connection with God. Let's help each other discover that. He's pointing them towards that. Otherwise, we're enjoying something that's going to disappear quickly, and we're all going to suffer, and that's it. And we're going to stay stuck in a cycle like this, So there's nothing wrong with that. With bonding with your family, it's a good thing.
Okay.
But there's something more that brings it to an entirely different level. That's what he's trying to. He's saying, I feel for them. They're working hard to maintain their families, to maintain their societies, to maintain their countries, but they're missing the bigger point.
Just can't miss the bigger point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And he's concerned with love for them. He's not condemning them.
Thank you for
he's caring,
validating my vacation.
Okay.
It's no vacation. You hang out with kids. It's no vacation. Any parent knows it's not a vacation. Oh, Krishna. My dear Lord Nishringadev, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but they are interested only in their own deliverance.
Okay, so there are even people that are catching on to that there's a deeper spiritual reality.
Yeah, please deliver me, Lord.
Yeah, they're only concerned with their own deliverance. They're not thinking about it. Prahlad's saying, I can't just achieve my own spiritual happiness
Mm.
and neglect everybody else.
Mm.
How could I do that?
Here's how he describes them. They not caring for big cities and towns. They go to the Himalayas or the forest to meditate with vows of silence.
Mauna Vrata.
Mona Vrata. Mara's encouraging me to a vow of silence for my spiritual. I think she wants it for my
Did you really say
spiritual edification, but I think she just wants me to clam up a little.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe just,
Yeah, the problem is if I don't talk, Mara will not talk. There will be so
it'll be peaceful.
the whole household will be
quiet.
silent.
Peaceful.
I was sent here to entertain you, Mara.
Yeah.
I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one can.
Hold it. Where'd you go?
They are not interested in delivering others, the Mona Vrata's people.
Yeah.
As for me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone. Boom, this is it. This is our Sankirtan thing. As for me, I do not wish to be liberated alone. Leaving aside all these poor fools and rascals, I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. Therefore, I wish to bring them back to shelter of your lotus feet. That's our mood.
All right.
That's our mood here on Wisdom of the Sage. Share it, like it, comment on it, give this stuff away to other people. I know that as far as me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone, leaving aside all these poor fools and rascals. That's not saying I'm above it. I'm a fool and rascal too. We're trying to get out of this, and we're trying to reach out, extend our hand, and get as many people out of material consciousness as possible. This is how we change the world, with spiritual solutions. Therefore, I wish to bring them back to the shelter of your lotus feet, my Lord. Mm-hmm.
That without bringing them back to the shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. Therefore, I wish to bring them back to you. Okay. Great.
Great.
Now comes that bitter pill that people might not want to hear.
You don't want to hear this. Get ready. Get ready, people. Sex life.
You said that like a lip-curling, life-denying patriarch.
No, I'm just trying to get their attention.
Okay.
Sex life is compared to the rubbing of two hands to relieve an itch. Just like
Interesting.
Mara just got poison ivy.
Okay, he didn't say it's like the most sinful, horrible. He said it's like
It's like
It's an
it's
itch.
like you got an itch, right? What is sex life? It's a desire. Oh, look at her. Look at him. Look at them. Look at all of them. Look at all of us.
okay. Is that how?
Yeah, it's a desire. It's kama. It's desire. I want. How can I enjoy them?
Why is it called? There are different reasons why it's compared to an itch.
Because an itch there's an illusion
good
within
to
an
scratch an
itch. It
itch.
feels good to scratch the itch until you stop. It doesn't satisfy. Sometimes I
Yeah.
get an itch.
It makes
and
it
I'll
worse.
say, hey, Costu, just itch me in the back a little. Just a little back. Just give me a little rub there. And it feels good. So sometimes that itch can go away. But when you get something like poison ivy, right? Or, I sometimes get some allergy where I have to rub my eyes. And you just keep rubbing them. The eye gets redder and redder and redder. And it doesn't make the itch go away.
The more you rub it, the more you need to rub
The
it.
more you need to rub it. And so that's what they're saying. This desire for sexual enjoyment, it's not like it's evil. What it does is it's like scratching an itch. It exacerbates. It's not like now it's gone. No, it goes like blowing on a flame. When you blow on a fire to stoke it, you blow on it and the fire goes down and then goes back higher. That's what it goes. It does go away for a moment. And now you're thinking everything with sexual goggles on. Ever wear sexual goggles?
No.
Come on.
Sexual.
Sexual goggles means you're saying, how can I enjoy her,
Oh, yeah,
her,
that I
him,
can
him, them?
And also with an itch, like sometimes you get, like you're saying, really itchy, and then sometimes you're just like itching that thing like crazy, and you're realizing I'm damaging myself here.
Well, you could actually damage yourself, and that's why with little kids sometimes they wrap it so tight that they can't touch it because they'll itch their mosquitoes bites off their skin, and it'll bleed, and it'll leave little scabs on them.
Right, and sometimes just the way that you actually get past it is you just have to engage your mind elsewhere. You just have to neglect it. You just have to ignore it.
Like sometimes if you've got like you stubbed your toe and things really, really hurt, but then someone makes you laugh, and they're laughing and laughing and laughing. You're laughing because someone's joking around, and you forgot that you hurt your toe. So in one sense, we're engaging our senses and other things. It negates the itch, but what happens is the itch goes down by neglect also.
Right, exactly. It goes away. It's funny.
Oh, it may flare up again, as it does.
I saw one of these little reels, one of these little shorts or whatever, the other day, and it had it was illustrating. It was showing two little kids, like even babies,
Real little.
were very little, well, I think one was like a little baby and one was like a really maybe like a 2-year-old or a 1-year-old.
Okay.
And I think it was like 2 1-year-olds, and they showed that first when it showed the father had the little baby in his hands, in his arms, and he was close to the wall, and he moved towards the wall, and he didn't hit the wall, he hit the wall with his fists,
Mm-hmm.
and then he responded as if the baby's head had hit the wall. So the baby's head never hit anything, but he went like that. He said, "Oh, are you okay? Are you all right?" And then the baby went, "Ah," as if his head had hit the wall.
Uh-huh.
And then there was another one where like the little kid actually fell kind of like hard.
And you
It
laugh.
fell out of the
you see.
it fell out of the thing and it was lying on its back and you could
It's waiting
sense
to react.
waiting. Do I cry? And then the mother just came and said, "Oh, look at you! What happened to you?"
I know.
And then the kid
Yep,
just
I
started
know that. I
laughing.
know that trick.
Yeah, the kid just started laughing. So how we respond to the different itches or even the different types of suffering, it has a lot to just do with our mindset. Whether it's as a miserable thing. I know as a monk, people tell us like, you're in your 20s.
What are you crazy? You're
you-
suppressing all your joy.
How could you do that? You know what? Our minds were engaged. We had a mission in life.
We had a
You know,
mission.
We had our intellect was engaged by people that we admired, that were sharing all kinds of insights into life.
We had
There
work
was-
to do in the world.
We had a mission with that kept us engaged in work. There was music, there was food, but it was all
We didn't put
working
ourselves
towards
in
a mission.
compromised positions. Also,
Didn't put ourselves in.
so even if you do have like, no, this is wrong.
Yeah.
If you put yourself in a compromised position, you're setting yourself up for disaster.
Oh yeah, sure. So it was a beautiful yogic path was kind of laid out, and it just carried us right through.
Yeah.
And then that training kind of stays with you as you
Yeah.
pass through life. Let's hear more. What is start?
Oh,
over.
supreme person. You want to read the whole thing again?
Well,
No.
you only read the first
No, I didn't.
part to the itch part, right?
Oh, yeah. Let's start from the top. Sex life is compared to the rubbing of two hands to relieve an itch. Grihamides, the so-called grihasta.
What's
So
a
a
grihamides?
grihamides is a householder that's actually engaged in sense gratification, whereas a grihasta is a householder that are living like, deep spiritualists.
Yeah, grihamedi means their life is centered around material enjoyment in the setting of the
griha, the home. So grihamides, the so-called grihastas, have no spiritual knowledge. Think that this itching is the greatest platform of happiness.
Okay.
It's obviously not, because they're always like, how can we how can we make it better?
Like you were saying,
How can we bring it back the way it used to be in the old days? How can we, because you're not an illusion anymore. The romance has been punctured.
Remember you were sharing that story about this? You were on tour with this band, and the lead singer was like really popular.
Oh yeah. Mentioning no names, the person was just like, he's not even like if he was super popular, but he was pretty popular.
They had big hits.
They had a hit, and he was a hunk. He was like
really
one of these
handsome guy,
guys. Like
yeah.
if you look at him, you're like, this guy's a hunk. Like even I would say that, like he's a hunk guy.
Okay.
And he was a hunk, and he's just, and so, but he was confiding in me. People confide in me, Kostuba.
Yeah, I noticed that.
People come to confide in me, and he said, and that's and I respect their anonymity, but this is what happened.
He didn't mention any names.
Curran is like, what is a hunk? A hunk's like a very attractive looking man.
Okay.
You'd use it as more masculine.
And what does
You wouldn't say a woman's a hunk.
And what does confide?
If you call a woman a hunk, they'll get offended.
And what does confided mean?
Confided means
They came to you for advice.
it came to me.
Opened their heart and shared.
Yeah.
Look for some advice.
Yeah. And so he said, it's like all these women like throw themselves at me after a show, and
I can't stop myself.
it's like I can't stop myself. and I hate myself immediately afterwards, and I swear I'll never do it again. And the next night it happens again, and I don't know what to do. You could tell the person was broken, almost like an alcoholic who's
Yeah.
just like, I know I got to stop, but I can't stop.
I'm gratifying my senses,
I'm
but my
doing what my
soul is miserable.
yeah, yeah, and it's this place of like almost like sober intoxication where you have intelligence. You're not like in a complete, let's get drunk again. Let's get drunk again. It's not like you're in that mood. You're actually suffering because you're thoughtful.
Yeah.
And he was a very thoughtful guy. But he couldn't, I don't know how it ever worked out for him.
But it's a perfect example of, in this context, in this sexual context that we're speaking of,
Yeah.
that his senses are pulling him this way, right? And he's so weak he can't get it under control, even though he's so
I mean,
night
he
after-
was living what a lot of guys can't even live.
that's where all the happiness is.
He was
right?
living. It was like a lot of guys are like, if I can only get her or her or her, and even
He's
the way,
getting them all.
even the way I say it, get, it's like this idea of like almost like consuming them, like they're a thing. If I can only get her,
Okay.
and so yeah, he's actually living your dream
And suffering like crazy.
and suffering like crazy, getting that dream fulfilled.
Okay. Continue, please.
Sorry, Karuna.
Sorry, Indian gentleman in the back.
Sorry.
He's Satyam.
Sex like okay. Those who are Dira,
Hold on, you skipped the other part there.
the Kripanas. That's another type.
Why don't
of-
we read the whole thing? Let's
All
do the
right,
whole
here we
thing.
go.
The whole thing.
Sex life is compared to the rubbing of two hands together to relieve an itch. The Grihimades, the so-called Grihastas, who have no spiritual knowledge, think that this itching is the greatest platform of happiness, although actually it's a source of distress. If you think it's the greatest form of happiness, you're an illusion. And here's the truth. It's the greatest form of distress. The
Kripana.
Kripanas.
What's a
or-
Kripana?
A Kripana is a fool.
A miser.
Who are just the opposite of the Brahmanas, right? The Brahmanas learn how to be happy with nothing. That's what a real Brahman is. They're detached from stuff.
Hmm.
So the Kripanas who are thinking, oh, I got to get stuff. They are not satisfied by repeated sense enjoyment. Those who are Dira, however, who are sober and who are who tolerate this itching are not subjected to the sufferings of fools and rascals.
Very interesting.
So there's two different things. If you go back, even though you feel like I can't stop myself, and I'm good, but I'm going to do it again tomorrow, you're a fool. But if you're actually like, no, this is great. This is great. I love doing this. You're just a rascal.
A rascal. Okay. now, a Kripana, it's a fool, but it's a specific type of. It's a miser.
Kripa. What does that mean? Like
Kripana.
Like Kripanidi.
Kripana.
Like our friend Kripanidi. What does
Maybe
that
it means you got no Kripa. You got no mercy.
mean?
or something.
Kripana. Maybe you have
Kripana.
no Kripa.
But you know, why is this person a Kripana? Because they have such a wealth. Right, they have such a wealth, like the human form, or even one's spiritual existence is such a wealth, but you're not actually engaging. Like a miser will have all this money and not engage it.
Mm-hmm.
We have all this potential, but we're engaging in this foolish way. Now, maybe we can end on this, but here's what Prabhupada said. And as we read this, let's think of your friend who came to you and confided to you and opened up,
And I shared it publicly.
even
on
though
the
he was.
podcast.
Yeah, but you see, because
No one's telling me nothing anymore. Linda was going to share all this stuff with me. Now she's going to be like, nope. Zip. He's going to bring it right on the show. I'm not going to say who, but one lady in the house now.
whose name is repeated three times.
Her name is repeated 3 times.
Begins with an L.
And rhymes with Minda. Okay, go on.
No, but so what I'm going to read, this commentary that I'm going to read from Prabhupada right now, a lot of people, maybe most people, would hear it and think, no, I don't want to hear this kind of talk. There's so much to enjoy out in life, and I want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
But then you take a person that's living the dream that those people are dreaming of,
Yeah.
that they'll never actually get. They'll
You
get
never
like
get-
the smallest taste of it, hardly.
You'll never get it. You
But
buy
the-
a Playboy magazine. That's it.
But the guy that actually got it,
The guy that actually got it. That's received.
think about how he would hear this message. Well, he'd be like, this old Indian man knows it all. He
Yeah.
knows my world.
And he's not even doing it. He just knows it.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. This is what Prabhupada wrote as a commentary on this verse. He says, materialists think that sexual indulgence is the greatest happiness in this material world, and therefore they make elaborate plans to enjoy their senses, especially the genitals. This is generally found everywhere, and specifically found in the Western world,
Yeah, we're into it.
where there are such regular arrangements to satisfy sex life in different ways. Prabhupada came from India, and he was like, these people are really like, we have it kind of under control in India. Because he saw the hippies, right? And he was right in the middle of it. San Francisco, Lower East Side. He was like seeing it. Yeah. He says, okay, so especially in the Western world, they're trying to make arrangements to satisfy sex in so many different ways. Actually, however, this has not made anyone happy.
Well, it made me happy. Whoa.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
No, look at you, right?
It doesn't.
Look
It
at your
doesn't.
friend, right?
It doesn't.
Actually, it's made nobody happy. Even the hippies who have given up all the materialistic comforts of their fathers and grandfathers cannot give up the sensational by sensational, I think he means like the sensation of it, right? The sensational happiness of sex life. Such persons are described here as kripanas, misers. The human form of life is a great asset. For in this life, one can fulfill the goal of existence. Where we get distracted by, going back to Yeats,
I think it's Yeats.
Yeats, okay. That's, yes.
Look at Stephanie Berman. Yes, yes, yes. You fools and rascals.
These Americans, what do they know? But going back to, he was saying, the young ones, they're in each other's arms, the birds are up there in the trees. Oh, can we pull that up again, Meredith? How do we find that?
Keats and Yeats were on your side.
Oh, thank you, Mary. He said, where'd it go? There it is. They're caught in the sensual music, all neglect. Monuments of unageing intellect. That's what we're trying to bring here.
I got that. I got that.
All right, Mara.
All right, I got some takeaways.
It's not even just that the act of sex is like, it's not like it's unsatisfying. I just want to go tease this out a little bit. It's like, even if you're like, yeah, we're just going to enjoy our bodies, it's going to be great. And then she's like, wait, you don't want to love me? It's a problem because you're dealing with a person's psychology. It's such a sacred thing. And then we cheapened it just to a quick exchange that it's never generally just a quick exchange.
It makes everybody all depressed.
It makes everybody feel awkward and weird. And where are we supposed to act from here? Are we friends? It's such a deep,
because each one has their own different center. I'm the center of existence. No, I'm the center of existence. I want to exploit you for my happiness. No, I want to, but your happiness is not working with my happiness. Right?
Yeah, and my idea of happiness is like, let's settle down, raise a family.
Well, no, that's not my.
That's what I'm reading in Anna Karina right now. That's what I'm getting into right now.
Intellect.
Okay.
So reading those books, hearing them.
All right.
What does that look right there?
You ready for some
squinting.
takeaways?
Yes.
This knowledge never ages.
This knowledge never ages.
This knowledge never ages, but I do.
Look at this world with one optimistic eye and one pessimistic eye. Unless we seek the truth, we're destined to suffer.
Ooh, good morning.
Keep bhakti at the forefront.
Right there. That's a mug.
Hold on to the lifeline through storms and good weather.
Hold on. Isn't that
You're-
a song? Hold ons. Bunky, is there a hold on song out there? Yeah. Hold on. No, it's slow down. You move too fast.
I'm really off.
Your senses have an agenda for you.
Your senses have an agenda for you. What's the
Taste a spiritual reality beyond material enjoyment.
okay?
How we respond to the itch depends on our mindset.
You know what? The next time we eat together, you guys, all of us, let's taste the bhakti and not the food. Not the food itself. They're all, look, Bhakti Uriel's like, he's a deep genius. Yes, I am, Bhakti Uriel. Welcome to my mind. Bhakti Uriel's like my biggest fan here right now.
Lunch, you're gonna get like peanuts, and I'm gonna be like, taste the bhakti. That's all.
Raghunath's like, I need to keep bringing in these new devotees.
Bunky's lost all faith in me.
Monkeys. We need to bring in the naive, young ones.
Okay.
All right. And we don't wish to be liberated alone. Share it, like it, comment, and give it away.
Share it, like it, follow us,
Follow us.
and give it away. Yeah, that's our theme song, actually. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Share it. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Wisdom of the Sages weekend. We're going to have, is it Friday today or Thursday?
Friday.
All right, so tomorrow is Q&A day at what time, Mara? 8 a.m. Don't send your questions in because they're not going to be answered this weekend. You can send them in for next weekend because this weekend you got to show up personally.
Still send in the questions.
We're going to get some of our famous people here like Henry to ask a question. Bhakti Uriel's going to have a question. Even Linda's going to have a question. Mosh Pit will have a question.
Old New York hardcore dude. Corrupted him.
I'm making devotees into hardcore people for years. Thanks you. Thanks everybody for joining us. It's been ecstatic. Where's our local peeps? We can see Krishna Mai. She's coming. Shia Shastra, you better see you in California. All right, when we come, let's see who else is here. Alita Kishore, she was here helping out yesterday. Thank you. Stephanie Ann. Who else is here? Miguel. Fireball Miguel.